Just turn on the volume. There we go. I'll share my screen so people can see the agenda.
We don't have recognizing the public on here. We got a gentleman in the back. So oh, it's up top. Okay, the pledge of allegiance. Okay, thank you. Oh, I need to clean my glass. Usually by. Okay. Good evening. My name is Kirk Smallage. I am the chair for the Douglas Library Board of Trustees for Hebron. I would like to call this meeting to order as of 7:03, I think it is, 7:02 p.m. This is our regular meeting for Monday, January 12th, rather. If you would, I'm going to ask that you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do that every day with the kids when I'm at school.
Oh, yeah.
In the morning meeting.
Thank you. The first order of business is public comment. This section of the agenda is reserved for persons in attendance who wish to address the board briefly, and the comments should be short if at all possible. I see we have a gentleman in the back. Are you here to join us tonight, sir? Oh. Okay. So, well, welcome to the meeting. Yep. Hopefully.
Any questions?
Yeah, raise your hand and let us know. Patty, would you like to say something? Are all of you, have you met Patty yet? This is Patty King.
No.
She applied to the open spot for Meg Clifton. Did the board, I'm not sure because the minutes aren't out from Thursday's meeting. Did the Board of Selectmen approve you yet, or the pending approval?
Cannot approve her. They cannot act until the association has
Okay.
officially.
Okay, so we've got a little ways to go.
So.
I told good morning.
Good evening.
Whatever
Whatever.
today is. But hello, my name is Patricia King. I have been a resident here in Hebron for, oh gosh, how long? I don't know. 27 years and 8 years. And I would like to offer my services as a member of this committee. My children are grown. They've gone through the Hebron. They graduated a long time ago. I have been a member of the state of Connecticut, and a member of the education. I've been here for over 30 years. And at this point in my career, is winding down. I'd like to give back to my community. That's really here at the district level and level. Okay. As we proceed through all of the things that I need to do, I hope that good works.
Welcome.
Yes, well, welcome. I'll echo Dale's comment. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll look forward to hopefully the progress through your appointing process. All right. Since we're absent a secretary currently, I'll ask just to have you take a peek at the secretary's report, which is the minutes from the previous meeting. And the date on that was, can you help me? I didn't.
December 12th, I believe.
Okay.
15.
15.
December 15th.
15.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
That was before I got stabbed in the eyeball. I'm allowed to not know what.
Can I have a motion, please, to accept the minutes, and then we'll have discussion if there's any corrections? Okay, Dale with a motion, and is there a second?
I'll second.
Peter, thank you for that. Now I'll open that up to discussion if there's any additions or deletions or anything that you feel we need to comment on. Anybody have anything? Everybody's okay with it? Okay, great. Then a motion has been made to approve the secretary's minutes from the meeting on December 15th, I believe. And I'll ask for that to be call to vote and we'll do it individually so that Catherine can record that. Sue, you approve or?
A.
Okay, Peter
Yes.
and Dale?
Yes.
Okay, Emily online?
Yes.
Okay, and as chair, I vote aye as well. So with that said, the
I'm
motion is.
online also.
Oh, hi, MA. Thank you. Appreciate your making us aware of that. MA, do you have a vote to cast, aye or nay?
I have to abstain because I was absent last time.
Okay, that's fine. Then one abstention. Otherwise, the secretary's report is accepted. I guess that's the same as the approved minutes of the, okay. Dory, good evening. I think I see you're online. Can you hear us?
Yes, can everyone hear me?
Yes, you're coming through loud and clear.
Excellent. I was having some technical difficulties, so I was nervous, but so I'm glad to hear that you can hear me.
Okay, yes. Have you anything that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, just a few things, Kirk, if you don't mind.
Mhm.
The town manager's office, as many other departments in our town hall, are feverishly working on this year's budget. Crunching numbers, working with the finance director and department heads to really refine our numbers this year. Also would like to report that the town manager will be attending an FOI hearing for the Friends of the Library's second request. He will be represented, or the town will be represented by Hallard and Sage. That's going to be February 9th. I believe that's a Monday or a Tuesday. So he will be attending that. And the town center project is spearheading the America 250, which is the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. They are doing many events throughout the year to acknowledge and celebrate the 250. And if you have any questions or would like to become involved, please reach out to anyone that's on that committee. They are always looking for people to volunteer. Other than that, I am all set. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dory. Thank you for joining us. Anybody have any questions of Dory? I have one, Dory. Are you still with us?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes,
she's still there.
sorry.
Okay. Yes. Can you just help explain to me the position on a board of alternate? An alternate doesn't really have the right to vote, is that correct?
So an alternate can be if they're present at a meeting, can be invited to attend to ascertain quorum.
Okay.
And if they are invited to attend, then they can vote like a member.
Oh, okay.
If they make up the quorum.
If they're there to make up the quorum.
Yes, thank you, Drusilla. Yes, exactly.
Okay. Otherwise, they're there to just participate if they have questions or whatever, if the chair recognizes them.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Welcome.
Okay. Thank you for that report. And for the chairperson's report, most of what I'm going to talk about will be covered in the other agenda items, but there is one fun thing that I'd like to, we talked about this at an earlier meeting. There is a local newspaper that's put out in Willimantic. Actually, it covers almost all the towns around us except us at this point. And I've had the opportunity to talk with the editor. I'm not sure if he's the owner, but certainly the editor of that newspaper. And that is going to be now included in a free publication that they do here at the library. Shortly, you should receive contact from Tom King requesting a meeting, and he'll drop off a number of those that you can put wherever you feel they're appropriate so that people can actually take them. And we'll just make sure we save one for people to read if they all get taken. And I think this might be the start of also maybe finding a couple of other outlets in Hebron. One of the things that I was attracted to in this particular publication is that it really, really emphasizes local people writing articles of interest of things in their own lives or of experiences, or it could be poetry, It's an opportunity for expression by people that otherwise might not have a venue to do that in. And so I urge that, Tom, to come on into Hebron and let's let our people have a chance to participate in that. All of his writers that do articles are, I believe, on a voluntary basis, and they submit regularly. The paper comes out on a monthly basis, or maybe a bi-monthly basis on occasion. But it's very creative. It shares with us through their ads and announcements some of the things that are happening in the Willimantic area that Hebron residents could be taking advantage of. For some reason, their distribution just went as far as Columbia or Andover and didn't quite shoot over to Hebron. So I think this will be a good step forward to include that in our library, as well as hopefully finding another couple of outlets in it. So I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to the chance to meet Tom if he can arrange to come just to meet with you, and if I can join you for that. Beyond that, I think we'll just move on to the director's report, and I'll cover some of the other things as we get to the agenda items.
So you should all have a copy of my report, fairly short, because I felt like I spent more time not in the library last month than I did in it. In case you wondered, you may have noticed I do not have glasses on.
Ah.
The eyeball stabbing was apparently successful, although my surgeon says he doesn't like to call it that. But it was, as Decembers go, it was a fairly quiet month for us last month. A lot of what we were doing was frantically preparing for painting, which got even more frantic last week. I think the stuff on the walls multiplied when we weren't looking, but they are now underway painting upstairs. So we're taking staff today. We're doing some inventorying and such. That's sometimes a little hard when we have patrons in the building and are trying to assist them, and running stuff downstairs to patrons who called and wanted something. But it's going to look phenomenal when it's done and we get all the furniture put back. And I should say a special thanks to Public Works for coming over and moving some very heavy furniture and not destroying it while they did, which was in question for a couple of the pieces because they're not necessarily as sturdy as you think they are. And I do want to take a moment, it's included in my report for December, but I do want to take a special moment to recognize Jean Buggy, who is one of our part-time staff members and who was with us for 35 years
Wow.
and retired. Her last day was December 27th. Although, if you look down the hall in the boardroom, she is here tonight because she is continuing to lead the Nitwits group
Oh, good for
as a
her.
volunteer. So she's still around, but she doesn't have to like do anything I tell her to now, I guess. But anyhow, she put 35 years into this place. So it's sort of the end of an era.
Wow.
Not having her here.
Well, certainly if you would extend congratulations on behalf of the Board of Trustees to
I will.
her, and congratulations on her retirement. Thank you for your report. I'll move on, I guess, at this point to the beginning of old business. And the first item on there is the evaluation of the library director. At the last meeting, we had voted and approved upon the form or format to be used for each individual Board of Trustee member to provide an evaluation of the library director. I had asked that those be available tonight, but I'll gladly extend that through Friday of this week, and ask that you, if you've not completed it and don't have it with you tonight, thank you, then you may email that to me through the .gov email format, and I'll take that and I'll take care of completing the compilation to then present to Drusilla. Emily, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. As vice chair, when I have that finished and I can set up a meeting, I'll coordinate that meeting. I would like to have you join me for that. I think it's important that the chair and vice chair both have the opportunity to meet with Drusilla to discuss that, okay?
Okay. Works for me.
So before that meeting happens, I will provide you with a copy of the compilation so
Okay.
you can see it, and then you'll be prepared to meet with me and with Drusilla. This is a a consulting evaluation. Is that the best way I can put it? It's not an obligation or it doesn't impact your job performance, other than it will be presented to the town manager as just part of his overall. But I thought it's kind of important. I feel that you should at least have a chance to look at it. I don't think there should be any surprises here. So we'll be happy to do that with you. Okay. So,
After this week, because you can't fit in my office.
oh,
right
no,
now.
no. Well, by the time, if everybody's kind enough, and I'll put out an email to this effect to ask for everything by Friday. If everybody's completed that by Friday, then I'll need another week at least to do the compilation. And my hope would be that we could, get this all in place and before our next regularly scheduled meeting in February. So, and the way I'm going to leave this is that this is, again, more or less voluntary. If you, for some reason, have chosen not to provide an evaluation on the format by Friday, then I'll consider that you're just not going to participate in this year's evaluation, and the compilation will be based on the remaining people that have participated. So, but I will put an email out to that effect. Anybody have any questions on that or any issues with what I'm proposing?
Ultimately, you will meet with Andy and Drusilla.
No, just with Drusilla and with Emily.
And
It's just the Board of Trustees doing the compilation of what you folks have provided for.
I understand that, but
Yep.
there won't be another meeting with Drusilla, you and Andy.
No, once we're done, and unless there's anything that she finds that's seemingly out of order, if that happens, then we'll bring it back to the board and we'll discuss why that happened or what we can do to fix it. But if it turns out that she's accepting what we've provided, again, this is in a consulting role as the board, then I will forward that compilation to Andy with no other action needed by the board.
If Andy needs to take any action, he takes it on his.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she works for Andy, so she doesn't work for us. So she just, vice versa, she's in a consulting role to us. But administratively, yes, Andy, and this is just a tool that has not been provided. And thank you, Sue Porter, for your nudging us to get that back on track and get it done. And this is just another tool for him to be able to use. And I think it's important that she be able to, see how the board feels and getting, the comments certainly will be included as well as the numbers that come together. But perhaps the comments are even more important in some respects than the numbers. But that's the plan, unless somebody has a feeling they'd rather do something different than what I'm proposing.
Just understanding the process.
Okay,
That's
good. Well, thank you for the question, Peter. With that being closed, I don't think there's any action required. It's not like we have to really approve the evaluation on behalf of the board. Again, it's a consulting position, so it's, and it'll be based on the people who have chosen to have it finished by Friday. So then we'll move on to the next discussion in old business, Friends of the Library. What we've learned is that there is a document available that we had hoped would come out between last minute and this meeting for us to be able to take a look at. And unfortunately, it's so large, having been presented at the first FOI hearing, that we need to do something different with that. I think what we have talked about is that for any of you that are interested in looking at it, that it will be available through Drusilla in her office. I think it goes on a stick drive.
It's actually right here. It's on a thumb drive because it's about 180 pages of document.
Yeah, so it was too big to try to email out to everybody.
It's printed.
Without.
Yeah, I looked at it when I don't think I'm going to print 8 copies of that. That seems a little much.
This is the first FOI or?
This
is
is,
the second.
this is, yes, responding to the second, but this is Meg's contribution. This is what she had sent.
The reason that you're looking at this document is to be able to evaluate based on what was already presented, which represented what Meg could collect from various different people or whatever, and compare that to whether there's anything in addition to that that you might want to add. If not, then when we're done, let's say hypothetically, the outcome should come that everybody's happy with whatever Meg presented the first go around on and we don't have anything more to add. Then in order to fulfill the request specifically of the board and to me as the chair, then we would sign an affidavit to indicate that we've done everything we can to review our emails.
So we all should read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if at all possible, yes.
So
If you, maybe some of you may have read it the first go around. I don't know.
you may already have seen it, but if you want to, either shoot me an email to set up a time or just come by and I will hand you the laptop with the thumb drive and give you a study room so you can just scroll through everything.
And we all may
Yeah.
be signing the same document as I read.
Yes, that will be the end result. And if anyone has something to add, that will be noted on the same document or be an attachment filed with that document to be included to submit to the FOI folks. Okay? And please make note, Catherine, on the minutes for this meeting that Beth Fitzgerald will be exempt from this process because she was not on the board. And anyone else, whether it be Patty or someone that would be coming in new to replace Meg, would also be considered exempt under this current process that we're going through because they weren't part of that at that time. So anybody have any questions about that process? Yeah. Okay.
And then I just had one other comment
Yeah.
relating to Friends of the Library. I have had a really good meeting with Maria Morelli-Wolf.
Good.
And also spoke to Dan Larson, and the two of them are working together to get a new Friends group off the ground.
Great.
And so they both had some good questions. So I provided them with the information, gave them some contacts at the state level to reach out to. So hopefully we will hear more about that. Maria and her family are out of town for a good chunk of January, but so hopefully we will see some progress on that front when they return.
In that same spirit, back when we first began talking about trying to regenerate whatever new name they'll take on, part of the strategy was, even though we can't participate directly in organizing that we put an encouraging letter in the River East, probably written by the chair, or it can be from all the board members. But I'm looking for that to be what I'll call a little bit more informative than just promoting, getting people interested in doing the Friends. I think that it would be nice if we used that same letter maybe as an opportunity to at least name, for transparency purposes, all the members that are currently serving on the Board of Trustees. And the only information beyond your names that it would be provided would be your .gov emails. No personal emails, no phone numbers, just in case there's anybody from the public that might be interested and they wanted to reach out to you, whether it be for the Friends situation or whether it be for something else. And then from there, it also will probably include your information on there as well. But what I will do is that letter, before it's put in, I'll bring back so that you guys can all have a peek at it, as well as I promised Andy a chance to take a look at it as well. So I would say that's probably, Catherine, if you can make a note again for the minutes, that would be an action item for reviewing the informational letter to the River East Bulletin. That would be great.
Okay, will do.
Yeah, next meeting. Yeah, I'll have that ready for that. Okay, anybody have any questions about that? I'm looking to try and, use the opportunity, since we're going to be making some changes and hopefully bringing this new group on board, to also promote the fact that we're a darn good group of people working on this board. And I think the people in town ought to know who's there and who's doing it. And so I think this is a good chance to do that. So that's the spirit behind the correspondence. Again, any questions? We can move on from that item. Okay. I guess we'll move right on to the 2027 budget update.
And the update is that I don't have an update.
Okay.
All of the departments, I think all of us now, have submitted our budget request. Went into Lori, the head of finance. She had a couple of questions for me, just clarifying certain line items and what some things covered. And I have answered all of those. And so right now, the next process is usually that at some point in the next couple of weeks, I will meet with Andy and Lori and probably Dory as well to just kind of go over what our request is. And he meets with each department head, kind of go over what the timeline is and what we're looking at. And so they can have any questions answered But so right now I have answered questions and now I wait to be asked more questions. That's
Okay,
where we are.
okay. So this is 2027. We're all set for 2026.
So
That's,
fiscal year runs July 1st to June.
Oh,
30th.
okay, so we're in
fiscal year
the-
26 ends on June
Okay.
30th, 26, and then fiscal year 27 starts on July 1st. So
Okay.
it's a little odd, but this is, yes, this is fiscal year 27. So
Okay.
this is what starts on next
So
July 1st.
the budget that's in the packet that you provide is all,
That is our
that's already
current-
put to bed.
this
We're
is-
we're just,
yes,
we're living with it right now.
dealing with right now.
Okay, got it. Thank you for clarifying. All right, anybody have any questions on that? I'm sorry, MA or Emily? You have to forgive me. I tend to focus on the people that are here. Did either of you have questions regarding any of the topics that we've covered up to this point?
No
Nope.
questions.
Okay, thank you. Please do not hesitate to just say, excuse me, or hey, Kirk, or whatever. I'm happy to recognize you. It's force of habit to just look down the table here and see the people that are here and ask them for their response. But I gotta continue to remind myself that you folks are every bit as important, and we certainly appreciate you being with us tonight. Let's move on to new business. And I have two items, but before I get into mine, I'll just ask, does anybody have anything they'd like to bring up besides me? Everybody's okay here? How about MA or Emily?
No.
Any new business?
Nope.
Okay. Emily, you're okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. Well, what I'd like to just, this is, I'm categorizing this under new business. It's sort of still lingering business, I guess, but we need to get to the point where we take action on these things. The first concerns the student early release program out of Ram High School for both the middle school and the high school. Maybe I could just ask you, Giselle, how does that stand in terms of what you've been experiencing of late?
It's actually been pretty quiet. Interestingly, we have had significantly more high school students who tend to come here because they want to be here and they want to study. Meg Clifton's son is one of them, so they're a little disturbed that I know their names because Meg has told me what they all are. But they come and we've had a group of boys that are here to study, which is very strange, and I hope they know that it's a very uncool thing to do. And we've had a couple of the middle school girls come in once in a while, but it has been very quiet, which is good. We like the kids that are coming in to study or are coming in to, sort of quietly hang out. Some of them are coming in to play card games, which again, like that's not what we did when I was in high school, but whatever. The last early dismissal day, we did have more kids than usual, but it was relatively quiet. I just kind of had to remind a couple of them that this was a library and, there were other people here and they were very apologetic. But knock on wood, it has been very quiet. We've had kids in, but we haven't had any of the issues.
I read that you had to eject one person.
I banned one more. Yes, he can come see me when he's 21, but he hit the 3 strikes and you're out rule. Actually, it was more than 3 times that we've had to ask him to leave for the day. And I finally said, we're past, at this point, what the expectations are and you have gone well beyond them. So, the last of our troublemakers. And we've gotten very good at tracking down parents so that I can send a letter to the parents. Because our previous resident trooper was very good about identifying the students and then going to visit the family himself. But our current resident trooper has not necessarily done that. So I have been sending a letter to the parents and saying, unfortunately, your student has, XYZ and therefore is, I've let your student know, but I'm also letting you know that they are not welcome in the library and that it becomes a matter of criminal trespass at this point, that they've been banned from the property, that does include the parking lot and the lawn. So they can't come hang out, in the parking lot and throw things at the windows, which some of them think is a good idea. Make sure to put my contact information. And if you have any questions, by all means, reach out to me. And have not heard from any of them, but also have not seen our troublemakers. So I'm assuming that the message has gotten through.
That is consistent with our policies.
Yep. Yeah, it says after 3 strikes, you can be banned permanently. So what I'm doing is saying, look, when you're an adult, come back and talk to me at this point in, 8 years when you've maybe grown out of this stage. But yeah, it's interesting. It's been middle school kids that have been the problem, and the high school kids have generally the ones who they tend to have a little more ability to get around. And so if they're coming here, it's because they're choosing to come here, not because there's no place else for them to go.
Okay.
The high school kids who come here are driving here, most of them, which means that they could go someplace else, but this is where they're choosing to come. Whereas the middle school kids, I think it's because this is really it. But like I said, the last early dismissal day also happened to be the week of Christmas. So all bets are off. Like it's a different animal in there. So we will see what happens with the next one.
Is Drusilla,
can
is AHM open after school at all?
Hold on just a second, Emily.
No, AHM is not open unless you have an appointment.
Emily?
Oh, I just wanted to mention that Ram Middle School and High School have early dismissals beginning the end of this week and stretching into next week for midterms.
Yes.
So just something to be aware of.
Yes, and I sent out to the Rambler and the Raptor report just the information that for their purposes, we are closed until next Tuesday because the only place that teens are allowed without an adult is on the main floor, and that's closed. So they will have to find someplace else to be until Tuesday.
Maybe we could continue the painting project for, okay.
Really like a break at this point.
All right, just being creative. Okay, well, with that said, thank you for that update. I still feel strongly that this is an issue that this board should take the action on to the point of a motion that would allow the chair, the director, and any of the rest of you that would like to join us, but maybe the vice chair as well, to be able to have an opportunity to meet with the RAM board in a constructive way, to have a discussion about this. I think part of the problem, well, not part of the problem, part of the issue of not having that many examples right now is the weather must have an effect on that. They don't probably want to come out and wander around in the cold weather. But I'm guessing that once we start back into the good weather, the problem's going to find itself repeating again. And this is an ongoing thing for years more to come, I would expect as well, unless there's some
Yeah,
radical.
it's been an
Okay.
issue for several years, and I expect that it will continue to be an issue.
So while there may not be any immediate conclusion from such a meeting, I think it would plant the seed that we really do feel this is a RAM problem. It's not a town of Hebron problem. It's not a Douglas Library problem. It's a RAM problem, and there are solutions in other schools that are being used to address this same thing, where they find an opportunity to house them in the school. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Sitting on the bus.
Yeah, no, we've had a number of kids who are troublemakers and I don't even want to call them necessarily troublemakers because most of them it's not malicious. It's just that they're teenage boys and they're making stupid decisions. And I say that because the majority of them are boys. But we've had several that their parents have said, well, we send them to the library because we don't trust them home alone. So I think the thinking is, well, it's the library, it's going to be a safe space, and it's partially setting, getting the message across that we can't be responsible for your kids. And yeah.
Well, I mean, there's logic associated with if they're not going home because the parents don't feel they want them home alone. There's logic also to be said, it's a difficult trek since we're a regional school, to come from the East Hampton end of Marlboro, come to RAM, pick up your child, take them home, and then have to turn around an hour or two later because they may be participating in basketball or baseball, drive them back, drop them off, go back home, and then finally come back one more time to pick them up and drive them home. That's not really a Hebron issue, and it's not really a Douglas Library issue. And it seems as though that spirit in other schools has been met by establishing, whether it be in, this is just suggestions I've heard, could be in the gym, could be in the auditorium, I don't know, cafeteria, whatever.
Manchester,
But
it's the
find
cafeteria.
some safe space within the school, provide the necessary monitoring for that time period after school, from whether it's early release at 1 or whatever it is, or even if it's a regular release at 2 until maybe 4 or something. I really do feel that because this is not going away, just happens to be that it's cold right now. So it's not as much of an issue, but that if we had the opportunity to set that meeting and got the brand board to agree that this would be an opportunity for an open discussion to try and find some solution that will be best for everybody. So, okay, so that's the spirit. So, but in that spirit, I think we should have a motion to do that action.
You mentioned meeting with the board, the RAM board.
Yes.
Would the initial meetings be better spent meeting with the administration prior to raising it to the board level?
I need to establish, through the superintendent, a spot on the agenda for the RAM board. And he's already been made aware of the problem by the town manager, and he and Andy have had discussions, so this isn't a surprise to him. But I'm not really sure that this is an issue for just the superintendent of schools for RAM. I really think these are children that are coming from Andover and Marlboro. They're not just Hebron children. So I think those members that are elected from each of those towns should have a say in this issue.
Wanted to make sure we weren't circumventing.
No, it's not my intention to circumvent him. I've spoken to Andy about this, and he highly urged me that should this action be taken where we're going to request a meeting with the board, that it would be all run through the superintendent to make that happen.
Yeah, we talked to him to make it happen, but
That being the case, I am pleased to offer a motion.
Okay.
That this board approach the RAM board to discuss and resolve the situation.
Okay. Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
hang on, I can't write that fast.
It's okay. We'll give you time.
I give Catherine my notes, so
Are you done? Oh,
yes.
just teasing.
Second was Sue. Okay.
All right, we have a motion on the floor, and I'll ask if there's any discussion before we vote. Anybody have any comments or discussion? Not here. Emily or MA?
Nope.
No.
Okay, Emily?
No.
Okay, then I will call for a vote, and again, we'll do this individually if we could, please. And we'll start with Sue.
Aye.
Peter?
Absolutely.
Aye. Dale?
Yes.
Aye. Burke is chair. Aye. Emily?
Aye.
And MA?
Yes.
Aye. Okay, then it's unanimous. And Catherine, hopefully you got all that, so,
Down.
okay.
I'll send
thank
it
you.
to her.
Excellent. All right, thank you for your support on that. And I think before once we have that meeting in place, I will extend an invitation to all of the board of trustee members to, join me for that if you like, so that we can, I do just think that it'll be a good opportunity to have some dialogue, and hopefully the superintendent will agree with that. So we'll take it from there. I have one other piece of business that I'd like to address, and this does not require board action at this point, in my opinion, because it's really just a matter of having a discussion. But when the charter revision was recently done, this board apparently decided to keep the 9-member status and not reduce down, as most of the other boards had taken 1 or 2 positions and either eliminated them or made some changes to them. And I'd like to know what your thoughts are about the idea of reducing our board from 9 full members down to 7 full members, excuse me, with 2 alternates. That would keep the charter revision out of the way if that has to happen and can't just be decided by the selectmen. I'm hoping that just a modification in the way sorry, I can tickle, would be that we would still keep the 9 members, but 2 of them would become alternates. How do you feel about that?
I would want, before the board, actually
Oh, we're not going to take any action.
makes any action, I would want to check the wording of the charter and the terms of the governing documents, let's
Stru-
put it that way,
structure.
of
Okay.
the library, because there is some wording in there that dictates how many people are in what
Right, no,
role.
when the ordinance was made,
And
was
so it's,
dictated,
it,
yeah.
the, you know, it's a
We
matter of.
amended that. We amended that ordinance, so be careful, don't trip.
And more amended to what, Peter?
Seems to me we moved from, we had the 9 members. It seems to me 3 were the general public and 6 was the association.
Yeah.
I think it has now moved to 5 and 4. And all I'm saying is
Oh.
don't rely just on the initial document. Do a little more digging.
Yeah.
Because there have been changes made.
Yes, I
to
know.
that document.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
But I want to be sure that, because there's multiple
Well, no.
governing documents that govern the library, not just the charter. We have a couple of other things that I want to make sure don't have any wording that would, the terms of Dr. Douglas's will say some really odd things. I want to make sure that it doesn't have anything in there.
Well, no, it's got nothing to do
No,
with
it-
how many people are on this board of trustees.
Got to do with the
The
name. The name of
association,
the library and the association. right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, then how about if we move this as an item to the
To proceed.
February meeting and give Drusilla a chance to take a look at some of that, and we can have further discussion at that time. The purpose of that is just, we've been, during 2025, I think we missed at least 2 and maybe 3 meetings due to a lack of quorum.
He hadn't missed one in years.
Prior to that, well,
It had been, because I went back before the Charter Revision Commission, they asked me to find out how many meetings we had not had quorum, and it was like 2 in the past 7 years.
oh, wow.
And then 2025 hit.
Yeah. Well,
We have one member that has not attended.
Which
And that-
doesn't help anything.
No, that makes it very
yeah.
challenging.
Well, I think this has a possibility of providing a couple of other solutions and still keeping maybe inactive people involved, but not having to count them as part of that process. So, let's just move it to, a discussion again for the February meeting and see where this takes us. I don't know.
You don't need a motion.
No, I don't think I need a motion until we've had more chance to kind of look into it. It's really more an exploratory item, and I'm not sure, because maybe it's, when Drusilla finds out, not even possible unless you have another charter revision. I don't know if you can make it an amendment, and have just the Board of Selectmen be able to do that. I was hoping to circumvent that by just keeping the same 9 members. 5 and 4 is fine from what the original starting places, but have 2 of the current members or members in the future serve in the role as alternates.
But we'd end up with a quorum of 4 people.
Mhm,
Mhm.
exactly. Yeah, that's the ultimate goal for efficiency and so I don't want to miss any more meetings due to a lack of a quorum. I really don't. I thought that's not our role. So, okay. So we'll move that to February, and thank you for any discussion from you, Emily or MA?
No.
Before we close this? All right, we'll bring this back up for further discussion in February as an item on the agenda for that. I think that takes care of my new business. Let me just double check my notes. Give me a second. Okay, good. So that brings us to other business. Do we have any other business? Okay. Emily or MA, do you have any other business that you'd like to bring before us?
No.
Okay. We didn't put we didn't put committees on here, but I don't,
Oh, I forgot the committee.
okay, well, let's do this a roundabout way. I'll just ask the general question. Does anybody on any of the committees have anything they'd like to report?
Safety.
Yes, no? No, you're all set?
Safety.
Okay,
Be very safe once there's not scaffolding in the laundry.
Mhm.
Emily or MA, anything that you'd like to add for any committee work?
No.
Okay.
No.
I make a motion that we.
Okay, then with that said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn, and Dale has made that motion. effectively. And do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Emily seconded it. All right. Let's just do this. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Abstentions? We are adjourned.
Good job.
Thank you very much. Very, very nice meeting. Appreciate your help.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you both for joining us online.